So ultimately, I think what we and the voters, particularly the undecided voters, would like to hear from you is what are one or a couple of the biggest issues you see coming for College Station as a community?
Yeah.
I think that, I can point out some, but I want to hear from you because you're the one that's running for office and might get to help decide some of these things.
Right. I think that, I think College Station has definitely grown over the last decade, exploded really. And so we've been trying to keep up. But now we have a decade of understanding what explosive growth looks like. So I think we're able to look and say, okay, this is how we can play it out, like I said, for the next 30 years. So the next 10 comprehensive plan, we're just passed through P&Z. We got to look at it. It'll go up to council on October 14th, I believe.
Sure.
That's a good place to start for the rest of the growth, right? It's to see where those areas, where the city staff thinks that growth will be. So that's important that we stick to that and we kind of follow that along. Now, another big issue, is going to be traffic because we're going to get a lot of people. I don't think College Station is necessarily the most walkable place yet. The bus system is not 100% there. It's sure. Wonderful the Brazos Valley Transit exists because when I grew up here, it did not really exist in the format that it does now, where there is like nice, clean buses that look like a bus that'll pick you up. It even comes out to my work all the way out in South College Station.
Really?
It does, yeah, which is, I actually told someone today, I said, hey, if you can't get to work, the bus is coming. And that's an option for someone. And so making that more of a part of it, it's small things. It's like, let's build actual bus stops that encourage people to ride the bus. So that could alleviate traffic some. But also, with the comp plan, like I was saying, we have a lot in there that this will help with traffic, right? But when we talked about planning and zoning, and it had been brought up, and I totally agree with it, is there's not necessarily always a great measure to success, which is in 10 years, how are we going to know that what we did actually helped at all? And so I think from my perspective in sort of the private sector, my job is like quality control and finding efficiencies and making sure things are working the way they should. And so when you can kind of bring that mindset to it, and you're like, okay, what we're proposing is great, but how are we measuring it to the last 10? Like, did we make any significant changes that helped anything at all? So, mild tangent, but really going forward, it's just going to be growth and finding that identity and like, what does College Station want to be? Are we going to protect our neighborhoods? And are we going to help those neighborhood schools and protect those neighborhoods that funnel into it? Or are we just going to kind of give way to anything, right? And so it's really going to be just that, and that encompasses a lot. And I think that College Station is an attractive place for anybody and anything because we have a lot of very smart people that work here and very passionate people that live in this city. And so it should not be hard to attract businesses that want to hire graduates. It shouldn't be hard to then get that housing that is desirable, whether or not that's more density because of just changing generations and what's different. I think in the next 10 years, Post Oak Mall is we're going to have to take a hard look at that and figure out what we want to do with that. Is it realistic in 2021 or 2031? Is a mall realistic? I'm not sure, but have that plan in place that we can roll with it.
Affordable housing.
Affordable housing, exactly, in the center of the city too.
Yeah.
And I love that idea. Yeah. I do, and and you can build around that, and you can build an equivalent Midtown.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that's going to work, and I think that's what will happen because, like I said, it's a generational change. I don't have a problem living in an apartment, and I think that that mindset will change a little bit too.
Yeah.
So it's just preparing for those things. It's taking that harder look and seeing, it's really the next 30 years.